Hello and welcome to the Common App Workshop. If you're watching this video, your consultant has asked you to start creating your profile in preparation for the upcoming application season. Hello, I'm Melissa Wood, Access College America College Consultant Director, here to walk you through all of the different aspects of the Common Application to make application season so much easier for you as we get closer to that August 1st true opening deadline. Sorry, not deadline, date. So if you have not already completed the prerequisites for this workshop, please see the Common App Workshop Masterclass guide in the Google Classroom. Also, make sure that you create your account first, as I will be walking through each section of the Common App during this video presentation. This will actually be one of your shorter workshops that you will attend, as this should take approximately 45 to 50 minutes to complete. Now, we're not going to complete all sections today because you don't have the resources yet or the numbers just yet to enter into your common application. But we're going to walk you through each step of the way so that you know what to do as you have the information and are able to submit that into your Common App. So before we get started, I'm going to do a little screen share here with you. So let me get that up and ready to go. And let's go over here. So you will see in your on your screen here that I am on the Common App website. So like I mentioned, if you've not created your Common App account, you do want to make sure that you get that taken care of. So you will see here the Create an Account button in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. To create your account, you'll click on this Create Account button. Make sure, as you are getting started, that we are selecting first-year student. Even if you've taken dual credit classes, you are still a first-time applicant, first-time college applicant. So we'll go ahead and click on that first-year student. And when creating your account, you'll want to use your ACA Gmail account so you have access to your Common Application, not just for undergraduate applications, but also for graduate or doctoral applications down the road. Once you create your account and click on the Complete and Create Account button, then it is going to take you back to that sign in. So once you click on sign in, you will click first year student and you will see I've already saved mine. So I'm going to go ahead and sign in here. As you create your account, again, I'm going to walk you through each of the sections. So here you will see in the middle of your screen the different components that are also outlined on the left-hand side of the screen as well. So first you'll notice here on the dashboard, you will see My Common Application. You will see My Colleges also listed here in that middle section. But we're going to go over here to the left-hand side. So as you're looking on the left-hand side of the screen, you'll see the different tabs of the Common App. So My Common Application, which you will see your profile, your family, education, testing activities, and writing sections. Another one that you are also going to see over here is that courses and grades section as well. Then if I go back to that homepage, then you're going to see this My Colleges tab. In the My Colleges tab, this is where you will be able to either add colleges or you will see a list of colleges that you have added already. So we are going to go ahead and we are going to go to this college search. Now, for the most schools that you are going to be looking for, you will need to spell out the actual official name of the university. So here I'm going to type in University of Texas. Not just UT Austin. As you will see here, there are a number of UT schools that are listed. So I'm going to go ahead and add UT Austin. I'm also going to add UT Dallas, as that tends to be one of my safety schools. And I'm going to add UTSA, again, another safety school. So you will see here that I will have that add button or the remove button. Now, I'm going to give you a few minutes to go ahead and add some colleges. I'm going to add University of Washington as well. So I have that one in there, and I'm going to add a couple of more in here too. So Purdue tends to be a popular one for us. I'm going to add that one in there. I'm also going to add North Carolina. So you'll see if I just start typing in North Carolina, you will see the other schools that are listed as far as here. I want to look at UNC Chapel Hill, but you can see all of the other schools that do have North Carolina in the name of the university. So I'm going to go ahead and add that there. So now when I go back to the My Colleges tab, when I click here, you'll see those schools that are now listed for me that I have selected. All right, so you will also notice here, if you try to add more than 20 schools to your My Colleges section, it won't let you. So this is why we strongly encourage that having that balanced college list, complete with your safety schools, your target schools, your reach schools, and those extreme reach schools as well. You need to be excited about all of the schools on your list. So for each of the schools that are sitting on my list right now, I'm super excited about every single one of them because I know that these are my options, and regardless of where I go to school, I know I'm going to get a high level education. So once we've added these schools to our list here, you can actually, let me go back here to the My Colleges section. I'm going to go back to my home so then I can see my dashboard, and then I can also see my colleges that are added here. So when I go back to the My Colleges section, I'm actually going to go right here to the University of Texas at Austin. Number one, on that left-hand side, you are going to see I have some information here, and this is very specific to the institution. So each of these categories here, general, academics, activities, contacts, residency information, acknowledgments, short answer questions, and essay, honors program information, recommenders and FERPA, and then to be able to review and submit. Well, we're not going to get all the way to the bottom of this section today, so I do want to show you some highlights. So everything below that actual college information section underneath the University of Texas, that's the actual application, friends. The application for you will be able to enter some of these pieces that are listed here under application, but you will not be able to actually hit submit until after August the 1st. And remember, our window, our target dates are that September 1st, September 15th-ish, 2-week window, because we know that you're going to need to get some materials from your counselor, have your registrar send some documents for you. You're also going to need to make sure you have access to your College Board account to be able to send or review your test scores, your AP score reports, so you can include that information in your Common App. So back to UT Austin. Here in the middle section of the screen, you are going to see the application deadlines. You're going to see that this is for our current class of 2026. You'll also notice the early action deadlines, which for next year, let's just change the year to 2025 or 2027, depending on when we are applying. And then as you scroll through, I really like this links section here on the page, because if you are wanting to go straight to the college website, you can click on that link. You want to know specific information from the admissions office, you can click on this link. The financial aid tab, I'm going to tell you, we will come back to, but this is where you will also see how much, so cost of attendance to attend UT Austin. You'll also see their scholarship page along with the amount of financial aid that they tend to award, and that is an average award. This virtual tour, for those of you who are not able to attend an in-person campus visit, I strongly encourage you to click on this virtual tour so that you can actually go on campus to do some of those exploration pieces. So here I'm a prospective student. I am a high school student. And then I really just want to see, here we go. I want to see Maccomb's School of Business. So I'm going to click that next. And now it is going to ask me a number of questions. So I am going to study on campus. And again, I will be able to create my account. And this is how they are actually keeping track of your demonstrated interest in the institution. But by going on those virtual tours, if you're not able to go and you're looking at schools out of town or in another state, doing that virtual tour is going to be super helpful. As we continue to scroll down, you will see other deadline information and the difference between early action and the regular deadline pieces. UT Austin does use an early action deadline, and that just means that students that submit their application by October 15th and submit all of the application materials within that next week, that you will receive a decision by January 15th of that current year. So when we look at that, January 15th, February 15th, that's kind of like their window to be awarding their admissions decisions across the board. We also know that UT and Texas A&M have had a huge uptick in the amount of applications that they have received. So some of these deadline windows or these admissions windows, they may fluctuate a little bit, but please always know that applicants will receive a decision regardless. Okay. So here you'll also see what the deadlines are for that regular decision and then the information provided there. What I also like to look at is the application information section. You will see how much it is going to cost. So applications through Common App, you do have a fee that you will need to pay, and that is per application that you are submitting. You'll also notice here that they do have their standardized test policy. UT Austin went back to being a test required institution a couple of years ago. And so some schools are still test optional. However, all of our scholars, we definitely want you to submit those test scores, because if you are applying to one of those impacted majors, meaning a STEM major, engineering, computer science, business, and our natural sciences or pre-med track, you are going to want to give them all the metrics and all the information possible for you to get one of those coveted seats in those programs. So for you guys, it's not really test optional. You will be submitting your test scores. And by test scores, I mean your SAT or your ACT test scores. Here you will also see, as far as courses and grades, for them, this section is not used, and I'll come back to what that courses and grades section means in just a little bit. But you'll also see their number of recommendations that are needed. All recommenders will be required for our scholars, and that is simply because, again, it's another metric, and if you do have to go into that holistic review process, you want the admissions folks to have all of the great things that people have to say about you, which is where the letters of recommendation come into play. You'll notice that they will need that school report, AKA your transcript, to be submitted, and they're going to want that final transcript as well. They want to make sure that you completed and graduated with all of the credits needed for high school graduation. As far as additional materials here, once you submit your application, UT and all other institutions do have what they call a portal system. So once you submit, within 24 to 48 hours, it could be a little longer depending on when you submit and how many applications they receive, you will receive an email telling you to go in and claim your ID. For UT, it is your UTE ID, and you will be setting up your My Status portal. For Texas A&M, it would be the Howdy portal, so that you can see the check marks next to all of the pieces of the application that the university has received, and if there are any outstanding documents that they do need. As far as writing requirements, so this is specific to each institution. You'll see that the Common App personal essay, your personal statement, or your main essay, which we do have a workshop for that. So please be sure to register for that main essay workshop, as you will receive all the tips and tricks on how to write the best 650 word essay for you, telling your story. So we can see here for UT Austin that that personal essay is required. You'll also notice that there are additional college questions. Some schools may have additional college questions, and here UT has two required ones. Some schools may not have additional college questions that they are going to require you to submit. You can see here for the personal essay that UT has told you exactly what that prompt is. UT has not changed their prompt in a number of years, so it is literally share an essay on any topic of your choice, and it can be one that you've already written. It could be one that responds to the other 6 prompts that are listed out in the Common Application. They've also given you their short answer or their supplemental questions. So here you would be able to preview that. Pro tip. As you are creating your Common Application profile, please pay attention to those short answer questions. Copy them, paste them, and put them in a Google Doc that you will also have your main essay along with your supplementals or your short answer questions. So everything is streamlined for you and you don't have to go search and wonder what did I call it each time, okay? Keeping everything in one document is always advisable. All right, so now that we have reviewed the college information here, if I close out UT Austin and say I go to UNC Chapel Hill, you will see similar information, that college information on that main page, and then you will see the different application pieces listed over here. So you can see that UNC Chapel Hill has a few additional pieces to their application. And so that's why we want to make sure that we pay attention to each of the schools that we are applying to. All right, now that we've done a general overview of our My Colleges section, I'm going to scroll down here to financial aid. So as I am looking at the financial aid piece here, we are going to look and see what types of financial aid are available to you. So by clicking on that first section, you'll be able to see that there are 3 drop downs. So grants and scholarships, loans, and work study. So grants and scholarships are free money that you do not have to pay back. And they can come in a number of forms, from the government to the state government to the college can also offer you grants or scholarships, or private organizations. And those organizations would also be in a list. So please ask your high school counselor if you guys have a scholarship page or they have any information on additional scholarships that are available to you on your high school campus. But grants and scholarships are free money that you do not have to ever pay back. Where loans, moving to the next section, loans are something that you will eventually have to pay back after graduating from college. So as we're talking about the financial aid, one of your Texas graduation requirements, and you can see here that it does say to complete the FAFSA. One of your Texas graduation requirements is to complete the FAFSA or the free application for federal student aid. The FAFSA will open in October of your senior year, and you and your parents will want to fill the FAFSA out together. Here you can see a description of the different types of loans that are available, from federal loans, Parent Plus loans down here, private loans that are offered through your bank or credit union, and any type of other loans that are available. Some of those loans can also come from the college itself. Now, my favorite type of financial aid is that work study program. Now, when completing the FAFSA, students will be asked if they want to participate in or want to be considered for work study. My answer to that is yes. The work study program informs the university that you are wanting a job on campus to help offset any additional expenses, and this is money in your pocket. Work for the university only during times when the university is actually open and in session. So, like during winter break, when classes are not in session, school is not in session, you don't work. But when class is in session, you will have a regular schedule. The university helps work around your class schedule so that you are not being scheduled to work when you have classes going on. And so when it does say here, if you're eligible, the job, it is your responsibility to find the job on campus. But once you do have that job, they will work with you on your schedule. All right, now for the scholarship section here. So scholarships are money, like I said, that you do not have to pay back. And you will also see some of the search engines listed down here that provide scholarship opportunities. You can utilize Common App, these Common App search engines, which include Big Future from College Board and a few others. You see the college-specific scholarships can also be found here as well. Okay, so right here and how to apply for those. So we're going to go to that in just a second on how to apply for those scholarships. You'll also see the Jack Kent Cooke Foundation is also a scholarship that is available to you. You'll be able to select that in the scholarship section once we get going in here. But you can see the scholarship does provide up to $55,000 per year. You do have to meet these requirements right here. So let's go to how to apply for financial aid. So we said we were going to look at step number 3 to research college-specific requirements. So you'll notice here, these are the schools that I have listed in my colleges tab. So if I want to go to, let's say I want to go to UNC Chapel Hill. By clicking on the link, now I am taken directly to their every student who earns admission, so they make sure that they keep their costs affordable. So you'll be able to see information as far as their financial aid packages, what that looks like. These are different blogs. If you've received an offer, what it's required, how to balance. So you really do want to do this net price calculator because then this is how you'll be able to see what that estimated cost of attendance is. So each of the links that are listed here do take you directly to, if I go to Purdue, you'll see here that, oh, they've frozen their tuition, meaning they are not increasing their tuition, but you'll see their frequently asked questions. You can see the cost of Purdue. You can also see they've included their scholarship link here. And so you would be able to peruse through this page to learn more about their financial aid and scholarship options. All right, now let's get to what you actually came here for. So I'm going to go back to that home page and to where I can see that dashboard. I'm going to click on my common application on the left-hand side, and I'm going to go to the profile section. Now, when you created your account, okay, you entered some of your personal identifiable information. Right now, please pause so that you can make sure that your personal information, your address, and your contact details are updated. So I'm going to scroll through. Do I have any other legal names? The answer is no. My date of birth was included. Now I'm going to go to my address. If it was not included or I need to make any changes to it, you can go in and make those additional changes. Do I have an alternate address? The answer is no. This is my permanent home. I'm going to click continue. And now I am at my preferred phone number. So I am going to use my preferred phone number, which is my mobile number. And this is so that the university can contact you or a common application or anybody else can contact you should there be any questions about your application. I do not have another alternate phone number, so I'm going to answer no and continue. Now I'm on the demographics section. So you will answer these specific questions for you. Anything that does have that red asterisk next to it is required. So I'm going to go through, answer my questions. If I am in the U.S. Armed Services status, so if I am a current dependent, so any of our military families in here, you will list that as a current dependent. I am not, so I'm going to choose none. And then please answer if you're Hispanic or Latino, Latina, Latino X. So I am a yes, and I am going to indicate how I am a Hispanic student. And then I am going to answer the question about how I identify myself. Am I American Indian, Alaska Native, Asian, Black, or African American, Native Hawaiian, or other Pacific Islander, or am I white? And then which best describes my white background is European. So I'm going to click continue. Now, this is the fun one when it comes to language. So you will be including the number of languages that you are proficient in. I am actually proficient in 2 languages. So I'm going to select my first language is English. I am going to check the level of proficiency that I have in the English language. I'm proficient in all because that is my first language, is what I speak, read, write, and what is spoken at home. Now, my second language, because I do come from a Hispanic family, is Spanish. But my level of proficiency for Spanish is a little different. So it is not my first language. I can speak it and I can read it. So these are the 2 levels of proficiency that I have in Spanish. And now I'm going to click continue. The geography and nationality section here, this is actually asking about your country of birth, what city and state you were born in, and how many years you have lived in the United States. You're also going to select your citizenship status. So we're going to go ahead, select my country of birth is the United States. My city is Houston, Texas. My state is going to be Texas. Right here. The number of years that I have lived in the United States, I can scroll all the way up to more than 20 years. And then I'm going to select that citizenship status. Now, how you respond to this question here, which is required, you'll see that asterisk there, is may or may not give you additional questions. So if you click the US citizen or US national, then it's only going to ask you for your social security number. If I click a dual citizen, it's now going to ask me not only for my social security number for FAFSA purposes, but is also going to ask me to list the countries of citizenship that I do hold. Now, because we do have a number of students who come to us from other countries and may or may not have their citizenship here for the United States, but are here on a visa. This is a permanent resident or a green card holder. And so you will also see here a green card upload. They are going to ask for that documentation. Now, for those of our students who are a citizen of a non-US country, so here's where our visa comes into play. You will list your countries of citizenship. You will answer if you do hold a valid US visa. I'm going to click yes so that we can see the other questions that are going to be asked. Currently held US visa, where from? So what type of visa do we have? Usually our students who are here on a visa do have an H4 visa. I will ask for that visa number and the date it was issued. And so this is where you definitely need your parents to help you answer these questions. So I'm going to go back up here and I'm going to click my US citizenship. And like I said, you want to make sure that you enter your social security number down here because they will use your social security number with your common application and the FAFSA to pair the 2 together. And it just makes things easier for you in the long run when the university is looking to award you scholarship information also based on that FAFSA. So now I'm going to click continue. And So you'll notice here, I've got all green check marks with the exception of that nationality and geography section. And that is simply because I did not enter right here, I did not enter my social security number. So I will need to come back to that and make sure that I have that added. Now, this common application fee waiver section is where you'll indicate if you meet any of these criteria listed below. The primary indicator is if you participate in the free or reduced lunch program at your campus, or if you have received or are eligible for the SAT or the ACT fee waiver. If this is not you, you will scroll down and you will select no. If it is you, then obviously you will select yes, and then it will ask you about your fee waiver. You will sign here if you have selected yes. So I'm going back to select no. UStrive it does connect students with a mentor that can help you with applying to college, navigating the financial aid process, that transition to college, all the things that you have a consultant for. So with ACA, you literally are getting all of these assistance with when it comes to your services through Access College America, alongside your consultant. So you can choose to be connected with a mentor or not. I'm going to choose no, and I'm going to continue. So you will notice up here in that profile section, the majority of my profile is checked off green. So now my nationality and geography is selected green. It has that check mark. So we're going to move into the family section. This household section is very straightforward. You get to enter your parents' marital status, but you're also going to want to have your parents close by. So I'm going to enter that my parents are married and that I live with both of my parents. And then my question, this last question is, do I have any children? The you in this question is you personally, not your mom and dad. Do you have any children? I'm going to answer that in my 17-year-old self as no. Now, for our families who are a split household or, we have divorced or separated parents, I'm going to walk through that for you. So here, I'm going to go to the divorce section. This is why you need your parents. When did they get divorced? So what year? So you will make sure that you enter that information there. Who do you make your permanent home with? So basically, who do you live 51% of the time with? If that is parent number one, then you also have the option to list any additional step parents. So say I want to say yes, and how many step parents do I have? I get to indicate that there. So I'm going to go back to saying that my parents are married and that I live with both of my parents. And now I'm going to continue. For parent one and parent two, this is again why you need your parents. So I'm going to enter my father as my parent one. This parent is still living. And you are going to enter their information here as far as their given name, middle initial, the family, the last name. And then you can scroll down. Anything that you see that does not have that red asterisk next to it, you can leave blank. But one thing I am going to put in here is my father's occupation. So he was business owner or proprietor. His employment status, he is currently retired. And then the question comes, does my parent or did my father retire from a college or university? He did not. So he was not employed at a college or university. I'm going to answer the question of the highest level of education that he had. As you continue to scroll down, I'm going to say that he graduated from college. Again, this is where you need your parents. So total number of institutions he attended, he only attended one. And I'm going to do that college lookup. So if your parents attended school in the United States, you can just enter the school's name. So my dad attended University of Texas. And so here I can see all of the different Texas schools, and I'm going to select University of Texas at Austin, and it will auto-populate the address and the College Board code listed here. The number of degrees that my father earned, it was 1. The degree received, that was a Bachelor of Science, and the year it was received, you will want to enter that in there. So, and you will continue. You'll move on to parent 2. So I'm going to do the other type of information here. Is this parent still living? Yes. The given name. I'm going to put that information in there. And then I am going to scroll down to occupation, and I will be able to see all of the different types of occupations listed in here. And she was a teacher at the elementary level. Her employment status, she is also retired. My parents worked a good life, so they are enjoying their retirement. She was not employed in a college or university, and her highest level of education, she attended graduate school. So the number of institutions that she attended were 2, and now I'm going to do a college lookup. But here, I'm going to change this here from the college name. I am going to go to a country. And that country, I'm going to put in Canada. And now it's going to list all of the schools in Canada that also are in this list. So she actually attended Alberta College. Let me see. It was not the Alberta College of Art and Design. So I'm going to scroll down here just to make sure that I find her school. We're going to go with Columbia College for now. Click continue. You'll see that the address and everything is entered there. And now the number of degrees that she earned was 1. Degree received was a bachelor's degree, and the year it was received down here in 1964. Then I'm going to do the second college lookup here. And I'm going to do it by college name this time because she attended school in the United States. And I am going to do Sherman College. So this is a private institution, so they are not going to be listed in Common Application. So I don't see the college I'm looking for in this list. So that is where I am going to check that box, and I'm going to click continue. Now I have to enter the information here, and I am just going to make sure that I have the university. So Sherman College. I'm going to make sure that I have them pulled up. And it's not the Sherman College of Chiropractic. It is actually, let me go back here. I'm going to X that. I'm going to do the college lookup, and I'm going to do Austin College right here. It is in Sherman, Texas. So I'm going to click that one. And now I'm going to be able to see that, yes, even though they are a private institution, they are listed in Common Application. Number of degrees that she earned here was 1, and the degree that she received was her master's, and the year she received it was in 1966. And continue. Now, to the siblings section, you are going to indicate the number of siblings that you have, whether they live with you or they do not, they're in college, whatever that looks like. I have 1 sibling. I am going to put in her information, and then I can put in her age, but as you can see, that age requirement is not, does not have that red asterisk. So now I can continue. Now, the education section. So you'll see my family section has that green check mark. The education section, we're going to have a few things that we are going to submit and a few things that we are not going to complete today. So here, I want to look up my most current high school. So I'm going to go in here, find my school by name, and I am going to type in Westlake High School. And you'll see which one is listed. We go with the one for Austin, Texas. So I'm going to click continue here. When did I start high school. So it is always going to be in August of which year. So for our class of 2027, that is going to be that you started in August of 2023. Is this a boarding school? Well, sometimes for those of us who are in athletics, band, dance, any of our extracurriculars, sometimes school does feel like a boarding school because you're there all the time. But the true answer to that question is no. Did you or will you graduate from this school? The answer is yes. And then when is going to be your graduation date? So I am going to plug in May 2027 for the class of 27. For the class of 28, you would obviously change this to May of 2028. Indicate if you had a change in your progression through high school. So did you or will you graduate early? Will you graduate late? Will you take time off or did you take time off? Did you or will you take a gap year? And then no change in progression. So no change in progression is what I am going to check here because I went through school from freshman year all the way through senior year. Okay. So I'm going to click that no change of progression. Now I'm going to click continue. Now, if I am one of those individuals who have moved from one state to another and I attended multiple high schools, if that is you, you are going to want to indicate how many other high schools did you attend. Well, I'm going to select one because I started at a different school than Westlake High School. So I'm going to find my school and I'm going to say I attended Cedar Park. Whoops. Cedar Park High School right here in Cedar Park, Texas. I'm going to click continue. Well, when did I start going to school there? For this purpose, I'm going to say I started in August of 2023. I ended December of 2023. So I was only at Cedar Park for one semester. And then I get to say why I left. Okay. Parents had a change in job location. Parents had a change in job location. Period. Don't have to give them the full story. You do have up to 250 words, but short and sweet is always the best. Now I'm going to click continue here. Have I ever taken any coursework? So now I'm in the colleges and universities section here. This is where we may have taken some dual credit or maybe even an on-ramps course through UT. So here, if I took any college coursework through my local community college or through UT on-ramps, I'm going to say, have I indicated? I'm going to indicate one. Okay. And then I'm going to indicate which college that I attended. So I'm going to put in Austin Community College. And regardless of which campus you attended, Austin Community College is universal for all of their campuses. So I'm going to click continue. If I'm one of those lucky ones that I'm going to remove this. And if I attended University of Texas High School, let's see, for on-ramps, then you would do, I don't see the college I'm looking for in this section. But I am going to go in here. I'm going to use Austin Community College and I'm going to click that there and click continue. I took classes where I was enrolled at the high school and the college at the same time. So this was dual enrollment and these credits were awarded directly by the college. If we're taking those classes during the summer, it is not considered a summer program because you are earning both high school and college credit, and the college is the one who is awarding that credit directly. When did I attend? So I started this summer. So June 2025 is when I started taking classes. I intended to continue taking those dual credit classes all the way through June of 2027. So started that sophomore year. I'm graduating in 27. So here, actually, I'm going to say June of 26. So that gets me my junior and my senior summers. So I started, I ended here, and then I did not earn a degree. So I'm going to leave this section blank and I'm going to click continue. Now, the grades and the current or most recent year courses, we are not going to complete today because you need this information directly from your counselor. Also, you will need your transcript, your high school transcript, in order to complete both of these sections. Your current or most recent year courses, this is actually your senior schedule. So this is why we are not going to complete this now because we want to wait until after that first week of school. So that your schedule has been finalized. There's no additional shifting. You know when you're taking government, you know when you're taking economics, because you do have to indicate which semester of the school year that you are taking those classes. So you will want to come back into your education section here and be able to update that grade section along with the current or most recent year courses. Now let's take a look at the honors section. So this is where you and your consultant are going to work together, reviewing your activity list and your expanded resume and determining which honors and awards you want to include in this section. So if I click yes, then I will be able to enter any awards or honors, and I have up to 5 that I can include here in this honors section. Do you have to include all 5? Nope. Let's pick the best honors or awards that you have received and include them here in this honors section. Again, you'll want to finalize this section with your consultant. Now, community-based organizations, this is if you received any type of free assistance with your application from organizations within your community. Most of us will answer this question with 0. And we will continue. And now we're to that future plans. I intended to start college in the fall of 2027. And so what is the highest degree I intend to earn? You will see here that there are a number of options. From your bachelor's, your master's, earning that MBA, getting a law degree, going into medicine, getting that PhD or maybe you're just undecided at this time. Well, I'm going to go as far as getting my master's degree, and now I get to choose my major. What is that career interest that I want to go into? Well, you can see this is a really long list from accounting to acting to business, general business, going into the clergy, being a college professor, going into dentistry, being an engineer, all the way through law school, going into the military, being a nurse, a physician, a counselor, a teacher, veterinarian, or other. And so I'm going to go up here and I'm going to select engineer. And I'm going to go to continue. So now you'll notice in my education section, it is not checked green. And that is because I do have to come back in after August the 1st and enter my grades, my current year courses. I also want to meet with my consultant to ensure I have my top 5 honors that I want to include. So now going to that testing section. This here, you will notice that you get the option to select ACT, SAT subject test, AP, or IB tests. And are you going to be submitting those? The answer is yes. So we're going to select yes here, even for those test optional colleges, because remember what I said, you are wanting one of those highly impacted majors. So we want to make sure that the university has all of the material for them to determine if you are going to get one of those seats. You want to indicate all the tests that you want to report. So if we are taking our first SAT here soon, we want to make sure that we include our SAT. We also maybe have taken some of our AP subject tests. So I want to include those. Maybe I took an IB test. So now I am going to include these 3. And you can see over here on the left-hand side, I have a section for SAT, a section for AP, and a section for IB. Now that I've selected all 3 of those, if I'm an international applicant and I do need to take an exam, most of our students do not have to take this exam, so the answer is no. I'm going to continue. Now, if I have not taken my SAT yet, okay, I am right here. How many of those scores do I wish to report? I'm going to say I wish to report 2. Once I have my SAT scores. Did I take the SAT with the essay? Most of us don't, so we're going to check no for that question. And then, do I plan to take any future tests? So remember, taking it more than 3 times, we're probably not going to improve our test score very much. So keep that in mind. No more than 3 times for your SAT. So I intend to take it one more time. My future testing date is going to be June of 2027. And then here, what is my highest evidence-based reading and writing? Once we have our scores, we will be able to enter those in here. And so we can make sure that we have those listed here. Okay. Actually, since I'm graduating in 2027, I need to make it a little earlier than that. So my first evidence-based reading and writing score was a 670. I took that in March of 2026. So this year here, my highest math score, I'm going to say was a 700 right here. And that math date was actually in May of 2026. So there is one more additional test date for me to be able to take a test. So I've now included 2 different testing dates here. You will obviously enter this information with your test dates and your test scores. So I'm going to click continue. Now we're to that AP subject test section and how many tests I want to include. Well, right now, I know that I'm going to include 3 tests. So as a junior, the dates I planned or I have taken the test. So I'm going to say May 2025. I took my test. Which subject did I take it in? Well, I'm going to go down here and I'm going to find my English language. And I scored a 5 on that exam. The next one, May 2025. So I took this test already. Which subject was it in? Well, let me look here. Which subject test did I take? I'm going to scroll down here to statistics, and I received a 4 on that exam. I have one more that I plan to take. So I'm going to say May 2026. I plan to take that test. The subject is going to be Calculus BC. I won't have a test score because this is a future testing date. So now I'm going to click continue. If I have additional tests I want to include in my AP test scores, I will still be able to add those in there. Now, any IB tests that I have taken, I'm going to say I have taken 2. So the date I took those, May 2025, and the subject that I took it in was in psychology. So I took it in psychology. It was a standard level test, and it was in English. My score, I get to choose the score. So I received a 6 on that one. And then my next one that I intend to take is May 2026. The subject, I'm going to go Spanish. Right here, Spanish language. So it is an SL test, meaning it's the standard level, and I don't have a test score yet. So I am going to leave that one blank because this is for a future testing date. So we're going to click continue. Now, the activities section, the writing section, and the courses and grades section are ones that we are not going to complete today. However, once you and your consultant have worked on your activity list and you've determined your top 10 activities that you want to include, you will be able to start working on this. So do you have any activities you wish to report? Eventually, you're going to check yes. But obviously, you will go through this list with your consultant to make sure that we are capitalizing on your top 10 activities that demonstrate interest in your major, so demonstrating that fit to major, along with those activities that you have participated in with a lot of depth within those activities. We can go ahead to the responsibilities and circumstances question here. And sometimes you guys have concerns or issues at home that may prevent you from participating in an extracurricular activity or any clubs or organizations at your high school campus. So here you get to select any responsibility that you have at home that you spend 4 or more hours doing per week. Okay, 4 more hours per week. So if it is taking care of a younger family or household member because you are the caregiver, babysitter after school, then you can definitely click this here. But if any of these do not match you, you will click the none of these match. Okay. And then down here, oops, don't want to click that one. And then down here, select which circumstances you have experienced as far as commuting, living with reliable or unreliable internet. And so you'll go down here. None of these apply to me, so I'm going to check that and I'm going to click continue. So that activity section you will see is still in progress along with the education section. The testing, because I did enter some of that information, is going to be checked as complete. Now the writing piece, as you look through here, you are going to see who requires that main essay and who does not require that main essay, okay, or that personal statement. As you scroll down, you'll notice that your personal statement is no more than 650 words. And once you attend our main essay workshop, you will be able to write your 650 word personal statement on one of these categories listed below. So you'll see your top 6 listed here. And then if we are applying to UT Austin, you will see that 7th option down here of share an essay on any topic of your choice. Okay, so we want to make sure that we select, again, if we're selecting UT, we want to click that 7th option down there. You'll see the box here. Again, you will not submit this writing statement just yet because you'll want to attend the main essay workshop along with getting approval and that final stamp of approval from your consultant before copying and pasting your information here in the essay box. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click continue so I can move to the next section. And then you're going to right here, if you have had any challenges or any circumstances that you want to describe, I'm going to say no. And do I have any additional details or qualifications that are not already listed in my application? So the answer to that is no. You can choose either one of these according to your current circumstances and continue. Now this courses and grades section, you will see who requires you to enter this information and who does not require you to enter this information via Common App. So you want to make sure that you have access to your transcript for your official grades because you will use your transcript along with the grades, courses and grades section of your Common Application to enter that information correctly. So I do have access to my transcript. This is also something that is fairly intuitive. And so I'm going to click continue. I have not entered any coursework. So in 9th grade, thank you. I'm just going to X out of that. If you want to follow view the walkthrough so that you know exactly how to enter your courses, how to select which school, which type of course that you are entering the information for, please do. This is pretty intuitive itself, but just for giggles, I'm going to select the school name. So I attended Cedar Park High School first. The school year was in the 23-24 school year. The grading cycle was on a 1 to 100, and this was by semester. My first subject that I have, so I am going to scroll down here to English. The course name, based off of my transcript, is English 1 Advanced. And the course level type, I'm going to select Advanced. Semester 1, I had a 95. No, not a 59, a 95. Okay, let's just go this way. A 95 in the course. I do not have a semester 2 grade because remember I moved. So semester 1, I earned 0.5 credit. Okay. For subject number 2, I'm going to go to geometry. Course name was Geometry Advanced. And I'm going to select that course level Advanced. Semester 1 was a 98. Semester 0.5. Okay. So I've entered 2 courses. I know those 2 courses. I'm going to add courses from another transcript. Now I get to select Westlake High School because I attended it the second half of the 23-24 school year. They are on a 1-to-100 and they are by semester. So here again, I'm going to select English right here, course name, English 1 Advanced. I'm going to make sure that it is an advanced course, and I'm only going to enter semester 2, and here I had a 98, semester 2, 0.5. Okay, so now I have that information there. My second subject was geometry, and I have geometry advanced, and oops. And I want to make sure that that was an advanced course. Semester 2, I had a 93 and a 0.5. So now I have both from Cedar Park and from Westlake High School entered here for 9th grade. I'm going to click continue. It's also going to ask me, it even tells me here, I have 2 courses from Cedar Park entered. I have 2 courses from Westlake entered. I've not entered all of my courses just yet. This was just a sample for you, so I'm not going to check this box, okay? You will do that for each of your grade levels that you have completed. So 9th, 10th, and 11th grade. For 12th grade, you guys are actually not going to enter anything in here yet because you will not have completed any part of your 12th grade year. So I'm going to go ahead and click no for this because I don't have that information right now. So I'm going to continue. Any other courses, again, you will go through this with your consultant or by going through that, that view screen. So when you're in here, I want to edit, go through that view walkthrough so that it can help walk you through the remainder of entering your courses and grades. We have actually come to the end of this section, and so you will want to make sure that with your dashboard, you will now see a few other things that are checked off green, and with your toolbar here, you'll be able to see how many sections you have completed. With your My Colleges, you can always go in and add more colleges to your list. Again, that pro tip, pay attention to how many short answer or supplemental questions that you will have to add to your application. Now, here's the thing, friends. So you are entering this information now in preparation for your application season to open on August the 1st of senior year. All of this information will be saved for you, so this was not for nothing. The information will be saved for you, and you'll be able to come back in on August the 1st and complete or copy paste the rest of your information, whether it's that main essay, fingers crossed you have that completed before summer, or at least by June the 1st. Your short answer questions, that's what you're going to be working on over the summer. And then your activities and your honors. You'll be able to come back in here, add those activities, add those top 5 honors that you have earned, and make sure that they are saved in your common application. Again, once you're able to copy paste that information into your Common App and you have reviewed everything with your consultant, you will be good to go. So hopefully you've learned a couple of nuggets and this process will be a lot easier for you. Please pause, rewind it, watch it again to help answer any additional questions that you may have. Also, don't forget to reach out to your consultant as they'll be happy to help you through the process. Thank you and have a great day.